Oh yeah, it is transplant day. Alrighty, hey folks, and we have done it. I've got my finest linens on, my floral tie, and we are celebrating today because our basil babies have made it to day 77 through their 10 days of hardening off, and they are ready to be transplanted into their forever home here. I am currently in the midst of kind of dancing with the rain here a little bit, so hopefully it doesn't start coming down too hard here. But what we're going to be doing over the course of our video here today is transplanting these babies into their forever home and then putting them over to where they're going to start living outside here. So when it comes to transplanting them, the first piece is that we're going to be putting them into a 5-gallon grow bag here. This is a grow bag that has more than enough room for them, and as you can see, I've actually had 2 basil plants going for the last 70+ days here, and so I'm going to transplant both of these into this one grow bag here. And then the second piece is that up until now, we haven't been giving these babies any big boosts of microbes or nutrients. We've allowed them just to be living in the seedling mix, which has had a very mild amount of the macro and micronutrients, as well the microbes. But now we really want them to start putting on growth. So what we're going to be doing is we're going to be using both our worm castings and our 444 superfood when it comes to transplanting them here. And that's going to ensure that right at the root system for this baby is going to be all the nutrients and all the microbes that the plant needs to grow big, to grow strong, and to grow healthy. So why don't we go ahead and start diving in here. And to get started, we're going to go ahead and fill up this 5-gallon grow bag with our soil mix. Okay, so we're gonna fill that up to about just kind of 2 inches or so from the top of the grow bag here. And then the next thing that we want to do is we want to dig a little hole here. And I'm actually going to do this just off to the side for the first one because we're going to, again, be planting multiples of the basil in here. So now that we've dug a nice little hole, the next thing to do is to grab 1 handful of worm castings. And we're just gonna sprinkle those in. And then 1 tablespoon of superfood. There we go. And then you're just gonna massage that in lightly to the soil. And then you're gonna grab your basil baby and you're gonna flip it upside down. And I want you to then just open it up upside down there like so, because that way we can then hold the plant nice and secure and then kind of loosen the root system here. Perfect. All that we're going to do is pop that into the hole that we planted there, and then you're just going to backfill it with the surrounding soil a little bit. Now I've got the other basil plant here, and so what I'm going to be doing with this one is I'm actually going to split it into 2 here. So next thing again is going to be to first dig 2 holes here, and then once again 1 handful of worm castings in each of them. 1 tablespoon of superfood. Perfect. And into the second one. Great. Massage that in. So next thing that we want to do is we want to grab that other basil baby, just like we did with the other one, but now what we're going to do is rather than just loosening the roots, we're going to take a look here, and I think that kind of right down the middle is going to be the place to break it. And I want you to just grab the bottom of the plant, right where the roots are, and then pull away from them so that we're kind of trying to break it into 2 nice clear chunks there. And so I'm just going to lay that one for there right now, and then this one, going to pop it in there, and then once again backfill with the surrounding soil, and then this one over here. And just like that, our babies are nicely settled in. And then we want to give them a top dressing as well. So we're going to do 1 more handful of worm castings, just sprinkled all in and amongst and around them. And then probably 1 to 2 tablespoons of our superfood. Perfect. So then we're going to massage that in nicely. So that's now got all the nutrients, all the microbes that it needs. The last thing that we want to do is just give it a really nice big drink of water here. So just like that, We have transplanted the basil into its forever home here. It's already been outside for 10 days, so I know that it has been hardened off, and barring any really cold streaks, it's set up for success to grow here. So it has done it. You should definitely be celebrating this day that your baby has been sent off to its forever home here. And I want to leave you with one last tip here, and it is probably my absolute favorite tip for having really, really good basil growing. And so I have been hardening this baby off without anything over top of it to make sure that it is going to be comfortable and going to be able to survive in the elements, especially if it gets a little bit colder. However, basil babies, they love a really warm environment. And so this is why you'll commonly see basil growing in a greenhouse. But I've obviously got mine in a little 5-gallon grow bag here. And if it was in a raised bed, then it wouldn't be in a grow house or a greenhouse either. So how do we simulate that? And what I have right here is literally just a plastic tote from one of your big box stores, a Canadian Tire, a Home Depot, something along those lines. And all that I've done is I've drilled a whole bunch of holes all throughout the top here to let some of the air come out. But what this is going to do is it's going to keep so much of the warmth in here around the basil plant. Generally, it warms it up by anywhere from kind of like 8 to 12 Celsius, depending on how much sun is hitting it. So this is a really, really great way where at the beginning of the season, where it's going to be a little bit cooler, we can simulate an even warmer environment. And what you'll see, and I'll share some of the pictures and videos with you here, is that it has helped my basil babies that have been inside of it grow probably anywhere from 1.5 to 2 times as large as those that are outside of it. So that's everything that I wanted to cover off on for today. You did it. You got your baby into its forever home. It's set up to have a really, really amazing season now. And what we'll do is we'll check in 7 days from now to see how our baby is doing. All that we're looking for over the course of the next 7 days is just that it's staying alive and that it is adjusting to its new home. We just kind of had a fairly traumatic experience with opening up the roots a little bit, breaking that one in half. And so we don't want it to really even put on any growth over the course of the next 7 days here. We just want to make sure that it is settling in nicely. And to help with that, get yourself a dome like this. Also give it a really good amount of water, as that will put the root system under less stress and strain. And then in 7 days, I'm sure that it'll be doing really, really well. So I'll catch you in 7 days for our next check-in to see how it's settling into its forever home. See you then.